Hey, this is my first ever video done on my laptop, hence like the quality and everything. And and you're wondering, I know you're wondering about the lighting. I'm using my phone for it. I don't know if you could tell, but I'm here to talk about like my this presentation I've done last week because it was bad, and I'll get into it, but before I really like actually talk about the experience, I need to like give a little some context and like a little bit of like a backstory until like I actually like get into it. But anyways, this is like a group and partner project. Uh, Basically we had to do like a presentation in front of the whole class, mind you, in front of the whole damn class about a renewable or non-renewable source you chose from like a list. Um, and my partner and I we did biomass, which is some like stuff made out of like plants and animals, and it's like a renewable source. I can't exactly remember. But yeah, we did that. But the but and hold up, yeah, and we have to talk about like why it's non or renewable source. Um, like countries that use it the most. Um, the pros and cons, the health risks with that. But the thing is that like with each topic for the one you're doing, like let's just say you're doing like renewable or non-renewable, like why it's like renewable or non-renewable. You only get to have like 20 seconds to explain the whole entire thing. So you would have to like talk kind of fast and all that. And that's not a problem for me. But like sometimes it can sound like scrambled. Like every time you hear me talk, it's like "Ugh." And you're not gonna hear, you can't really hear me like that well. And like I stutter and I got a little bit of a lisp. So that's not really helping my case at all. And on top of that, I'm like kind of bad at socializing. I'm not the worst at it, especially nowadays, but I still have my fair share of weaknesses. S- that's a little example, but that wasn't essential. But yeah, yeah, we only get to have like 20 seconds for each slide, and I hope I don't get copyright for that. Um, and I just realized I didn't have. Well, if y'all can even hear the music, but um. And I just realized I didn't even have my door closed all the way. But um, I don't even know if my dog is in here because that's why I leave it open for just so I don't constantly have to like open it up and close it. I'm getting sidetracked. My bad. But you have to get with like a partner or like get into like a group of like two or three. And for me, since nobody wants me or this partner, we got together and like we're like each other's like go to partners, because we're basically like the leftovers and outcasts of like our third period. And I know people in there, like, I'm like online mutuals with one of them, and like the other I occasionally talk to, but even then I'm mostly really like know them for a friend. And like a little bit because like we're both in orchestra, not the same orchestra, because but like we're in orchestra together, so whatever. But I'm also getting sidetracked. But yeah, and to give you an idea of me and this partner, we do not have any chemistry together. And especially at this time, or like everyone like knows each other and everything. So like my brain's blinking out, but like where like everyone knows has like chemistry going on. Their gears are turning and everything. With me and this partner, I'm I'm socially awkward and quiet, but I can also but like I'm like an ambivert, uh, ambivert. I'm definitely pronouncing it wrong, but it's like I'm both like an extrovert and an introvert. It just depends on my environment and the people I'm with, but I'm kind of like that, right? But the thing is, with this girl, she's a complete introvert. Like she's super duper quiet. And I'm not mad about it because I understand her. Like I get it. I know what it's like to be like that because I used to be like extremely like introverted. I actually spat on my laptop as I was speaking, but um yeah, but, but mind you, like I'm like an introvert in that class. She's also an introvert. So when two introverts get together, like like with like completely different personalities and appearances, we don't go well like peanut butter and jelly. And so like we kind of more like water and oil, but not in a way where like we're beefing with each other. It's more like a way where it's more like in the we just we're not destined to be like mutuals or wherever. I'm fine with it because I'm not expecting to be like friends with everyone, but still, it's just like especially since November and we have this class since like August. That you would think that like maybe we would get a little somewhere with our like dynamic. No, we still barely talk. Like we don't really go out our ways to like say hi to each other. We it, and for that I don't really like being with them. And I know you're wondering like, oh, like why don't you like try to like go out your way like to like talk to them? Like I said, I'm not like an extrovert where I can like make small talk. I can't really like I'm not a natural at socializing. Like it took me so long to even like actually like ask teachers to like go to the restroom. That's and if you think about since I'm a senior, that's a little sad that I made such slow and little progress, but better than nothing, I guess. But yeah, I don't really like being with this partner for this for those reasons. They're really nice and like we get shit done together. So like I'm not like gonna like complain. And and this is not me trying to like shit talk about them. It's just like I'm just trying to like express my thoughts about them. But yeah, they're really sweet and they're very understanding. So there's that. Um, but yeah, they're just someone I wouldn't really like be with. It's just like I'm just in a way like forced to for the reasons I stated earlier. So I'm not gonna like go like in circles. But yeah, so we did biomass. I don't know if I already stated that earlier. And like 2 weeks ago, like we were talking a little now about the project, but like we didn't really like spend much time together. Um, no, I think it was like 4 weeks ago, where it's like that. 3 weeks ago, um, it was not a, it was not the best week. I had my period and it was really bad on Monday. So I had to, and it was so bad that like I had to like tell my mom to come pick me up from school. So that's what happened. I got picked up Tuesday. No school, so I never got to see them. Oh, and mind you, I got picked up in second period. The this class, the AP Environmental is third period. Just had to like get that out of the way. Wednesday, we were also doing this like project like this experiment with like pods and seeds and shit. Our pods got really moldy, so we had to like throw those away. But the thing is that like there was like still like dirt and worms, so we had to like dump the dirt somewhere, and then we had to fish out the worms like it's like a tampon stuck up in the coochie. And imagine how long that took because in some pods there was like three, some had two, some had one. So we basically had to redo our experiment all over, and we had to like get like new pods and new seeds because we had lavender and they weren't growing at all. So we had to do radishes, and we just spent like a good chunk of class, like the rest of the class, doing that after we were done doing like an assignment. So we didn't have time to like even talk about it. And then um I think it was on Thursday when I actually tried to like contact them through email, saying like, "Hey, like how's like the progress going?" And I did it twice, mind you, and they never responded to my emails. I mean, to be fair, no one really looks at their emails like that. It's mostly just me and like a friend, like my best friend. But yeah, yeah, that wasn't working out. So I had to like, actually ask them in person, like, hey, like, how's the progress going? Like, what's it giving? Because mind you, like, prior to that, we had nothing on our slide, nothing, like, not even like a picture or two, flat out. We only had like the first slide done, which just had a title and like an image in the background. But besides that, there was nothing, nothing. And I was getting a little concerned because we had to do our presentation like on Tuesday, and it's already like I think like Thursday or Friday. But fortunately, like we did talk a little about about the project, so like at least like I was we weren't completely cooked, but um yeah, and like I was still like working on like what was my I'm gonna have to save for like my parts because like I did, cause like my partner and I chose out like the little like subjects and like in the top of like the renewable source we're doing. So and like I just chose the ones I don't have to do like like a lengthy amount of like explaining, and also like shit I don't have to like do like extensive research on. So yeah, I was just trying to like not do like too much like damn I keep on spitting. Not bad. But oh, that sounds bad. But mind you, I can't. I'm not much of a public speaker, so and like I know how I am with like presentations, and sometimes I just don't want to do so much, you know. But yeah, and then like my teacher like she was like, oh yeah, like on the day of the presentation, you'll get like at least like 30 minutes to like rehearse your like like practice your lines and everything. I was like, okay, like I'll do something like that and like practice my parts like before then, right? Um that wasn't like that didn't go in my way because next thing you know, I only practiced a bit of my lines like the night before the presentation. I know that was on me. Um And I thought that like we actually had to like remember them. So I didn't think to like actually like use like those like cards or like or even our iPads because we were allowed to use our iPads to like look at our like lines and everything. I'm like we can do that like because it wasn't at least like based off like why I remember like it wasn't like explicitly stated. So I didn't bother. But yeah, on the day of the presentation, class started and she was like, "All right, y'all, in about 5 minutes, we're gonna like get this rolling." She said something like that, or no, we just like immediately start to like do like the presentations, and we were like, "Hold up, I thought we can like take like a 30-minute like rehearsal time before this." Like, um, I don't know, and so I wasn't fully prepared, which that was on me. 'Cause I'm I'm a big procrastinator sometimes, and I know that's bad. So, and we were my partner and I we're like the fifth group to go up or sixth. I think it was fifth. So we had to let these other groups go, and then it was our turn, and we're like the last group to go before lunch. So, um, already for the whole entire time. The whole duration of the presentation, I never looked up. I'm being so for real. I never looked up like to like look at the classroom out. And oh yeah, before that, I actually wrote down the lines like what I needed to say onto my hand, and I actually have a picture of it. I wish I could like prop it up or whatever. I don't really have like an editing app, so I do so. Uh, at least so. Um. Yeah, but I do have a picture for like proof, it's like kind of like faded out. Uh, I'm not whatever, but yeah, I actually wrote it down, like used up like my whole entire hand for it, and yeah, like before, like we actually went up to the front. My partner noticed that like I didn't have my iPad with me, and she was like, "Hey, like you know." Are you not gonna bring your iPad? I was like, no, like I wrote it down my hand and I didn't know like we could like I didn't know we could like use our iPads and stuff. She was like, "Oh, okay, like yeah." And then we went up, and back to what I was saying earlier, like I was looking down, like I just didn't genuinely did not want to do this. I like if I could, I would have done something else, but this is like a major grade and all, so and there was like no alternative assignments, so it wasn't like I can't do anything. I can't do shit about it. But I will say though, eh, like stutter and like lisp wise, I didn't do so bad on it. I have stuttered like here and there, but it was not like day. Like at least it wasn't like that. But like it was more like a today we're gonna do I'm gonna explain as to why like biomass is a non-renewable source. Shit, like at least it was a bit more like that, but like I didn't start for the most part. Um, however, the one thing I did not know, we were actually supposed to go really in depth about like the things that we're supposed to talk about. Cause I made mine like short and like straight to the point. Like for like biomass, it'd be like the why it's like renewable. I say like oh, it's because like it's just like matter made from like plants and animals, and just like turn into like fuels for like our like houses and like electricity. I just went like that. But now with some groups, they're over here to explain the whole entire lore, the whole entire backstory and everything. I'm really like, ah, shit, shit. But to be fair, we only had like 20 seconds to like really explain. So yeah. But then, oh, what was it? Yeah, yeah. And thing is, we like this teacher can't like really like skip onto like the next slide. So like for the remainder of the time when I was done speaking, like I just had to stand there and wait for like the next slide, like for me to like speak or have my partner to speak. So imagine how like silent moments we had for like all the presentations we had to do because of that. That that was not my favorite part to say the least, honestly. I just especially since I wanna like speed up the process. Yeah, that ain't my thing. But then we went on to the fifth slide, right? Or sixth. My teacher had like an alarm for lunch, and my partner was like still going. She was still talking until I heard the alarm. And mind you, the moment I hear the alarm, I know it's time to go to lunch. I like it's like a routine. It's like a time that's like etched into my brain. Like to where it's like the moment I hear it, oh, dash to the cafeteria. Well, I'll go to like the library because they have like a little cafe early area and everything. Like yeah. So once that alarm went off, like I said, we weren't done. Or at least like my partner wasn't done with her part. Imagine me trying to speed walk back to my seat, like speed walking with my head down. Well, I was at least trying to like speed walk back to my seat until like my teacher was like, "No, no, no, you're almost done. Like go back up to the front." And I heard some giggling and everything, and like I just go so embarrassed because it was embarrassing. Cause and like I also felt bad for my partner because I kind of just left her stranded, and like she was still talking and everything, and like the more one of the and like the worst part about it is that like I I like this dude, like I have like a small crush on this dude. So he and we have like the same we had that class together. So imagine doing something embarrassing in front of the whole class and in front of your crush. Yeah, I don't wish that moment on to my worst enemy. That's how embarrassing it was. But yeah, and it was just so bad. My inner cheeks right here got like super duper red, and I I just like just looked down, just trying to pray that we get these slides done with, because I did not want to be in that class no more. But yeah, I it was not my proudest moment because I just looked like a whole fat ass right there trying to get lunch and everything. But yeah, like, but yeah, we um, fortunately, like, no one like brought it up to me about it, like saying like, oh, imagine doing that. Like, you're such a like you're so stupid for that. Ooh. I can imagine them clowning on me in their little group chats, like, "Oh my god, you see this evil bitch just like walk up like that, girl." Mm. But Yeah, moral of the lesson, if that's what it goes. Um, fuck public speaking, and I don't know what else. But yeah, but one thing I do remember is that like I whenever I had to like walk back to my class, it just felt like the walk like a walk of shame because but okay, we were already done with the presentation by the time we left, but I did not want to go back to the classroom after the incident took place. I did not. Mm. But yeah, that's basically it. For all I know it's not that interesting of a story, but just thought I should talk about it because I fucking can honestly. But like what I said, more of the story. Yeah, I thought it was more of the lesson. I don't know why I thought that. Like, but yeah, more of the story. Um, being forced to publicly like not publicly like being forced to like go up in front of the whole classroom for a presentation, and in that way, and the way it went down and all. Um, don't recommend like going for that experience, and I hope I never go for that experience ever again. Thank you, and have a good day, night, evening, afternoon, and live, of course.